Hello. So today we are going to talk about or learn about respiratory system in human beings. As a general term, what is respiration first of all? So respiration is a process. Which kind of process? Process of oxidation of organic compound like carbohydrate, lipids and all which occur in cell and release energy. Okay, that is the overall process of respiration. So if I ask respiration is a catabolic process or an anabolic process, so on the basis of end product, it is a catabolic process. And if I ask overall, what is respiration, anabolic or catabolic? So again you have to say catabolic because on the basis of end product is a catabolic process. But overall respiration is both anabolic and catabolic, amphibolic process. Okay. So this is all about the respiration. If I go for a general uh, term, respiration is a process, okay, oxidation of organic compound occur in cell and releases energy. Okay. Now we are going to talk about the human respiratory systems. So in the human, your respiration is physio, chemical process. In this, physio is physical. Physical is related to the breathing process, and chemical is related to the breakdown of organic compound, which we talked about earlier. Okay, this most famous or most simplest organic compound reaction is of glucose 6 C6H12O6 plus 6O2 6 CO2 plus 6H2O plus 686 kilocalorie per mole energy. Okay, this energy is trapped in the form of chemical energy. So 38 ATP will produce. Okay, this 38 ATP, okay, per ATP has 7.3 kilocalorie. So 38 ATP will around 277 kilocalorie. So if we talk about the efficiency of respiration here, so it is around 40%. Okay. So as I say here, 40% energy is trapped in the or in the form of chemical energy in the ATP. Okay. So in this upcoming lecture, we talk about the breathing process. Okay. Because the chemical breakdown and all already taught in plant respiration chapter. So in the breathing, so the question arises that all animals are all animals breathe? So answer is no. Okay, so note down it. All animals do not breathe. Okay, breathing is a feature of vertebrates. Okay, vertebrates may be called only those which possesses lungs. Okay, so breathing is a feature of vertebrates who possesses lungs. Okay, all living beings respire because every living beings need energy. That chemical energy, ATP, but all animals do not breathe. Breathe is a physical process of taking an oxygen and exhaling a CO2 gas. Okay, so it is a physical process. So only organism which possesses lungs do that. Okay, so in what way this process is happening? So it is related to the thoracic cage. Okay, so let's write down thoracic cage. So as a name suggests, it is a cage. So cage surrounded by or packed by a wall of thoracic cavity. So these walls of thoracic cavity makes this thoracic cage. In this thoracic cage, lungs is situated or attached. Lungs is attached to this cage. So whatever changes in this cage is seen in lungs. जो भी thoracic cage में changes होंगे वो automatically represents होंगे shown by होंगे through the lungs. So anterior side of its wall is made up of clavicle bone and neck position. तो ऊपर से packed हो गया anterior, then the posterior position is by diaphragm, dorsal region by sternum and ribs, ventral region by vertebral, backside our vertebral column and ribs, and our lateral side is also ribs. So through these walls, these organs, it is totally packed cage. Our lungs is totally packed in this cage. So this all process is related to the change in the volume of thoracic cage. The change in the thoracic cage volume is automatically change in the volume of a lungs. और lungs के volume को क्या कहते हैं? Pulmonary volume. And because of that volume change, let's study what happened. So assume our lungs is like a cube. Okay, assume our lungs is like a cube. Okay, this is the anterior, this is posterior. Okay, in the normal case ये human beings का कर रहा हूँ, वरना generally this part should be anterior. But अभी मैं समझा रहा हूँ तो आपको ये reason assume it is a neck region. This is the diaphragm. This region is dorsal region. Sorry, dorsal region, yeah. And this back side is ventral region और ये lateral है, ठीक है? These two. Now assume our lungs as a sphere. तो आपने क्यूब की तरह रिप्रेजेंट किया thoracic cage को sphere से, which is attached to this cube is a lungs, like a balloon. Assume it is a balloon which is attached to the this cage-like structure, this cube-like structure. So this cube is stretchable. इसको आप expand कर सकते हो and you can contract it also. ठीक? So assume if I pushing it inside, इसको push कर रहे हो inside की तरफ से, ठीक है? Contract कर रहे हो. So what happen? Its volume will decrease. Okay? If volume will decrease, automatically lungs volume, pulmonary volume is also decrease. Okay? And you already studied in physics and chemistry that pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. So if volume will decrease, pressure is automatically increase. So this means pressure inside the lungs is increased. Okay? Or outside environment pressure is what? Lower. So automatically air, whatever air inside this will come out outside. अगर इसमें ट्यूब लगा देता हूं मैं, so air will come outside. Same like if it expand, इसको expand करते हो अगर आप, what happen? Volume will increases. Automatically pulmonary volume क्या होगा यहाँ पे? Increases. So what happen? Pressure inside the lungs will decrease. So this is the whole process. The change in the volume of a thoracic cage due to that change in the volume of lungs, pulmonary volume, and due to that change of pressure, and through that change of pressure, air will come inside or outside. This is the whole process. It is happen in the two anterior and posterior way with the help of diaphragm and dorsal ventral way with the help of intercostal muscles. Okay, let's first learn about the diaphragm. Whatever changes diaphragm Do it is anterior and posterior. Write it down. Okay. So what is diaphragm? Diaphragm is a muscular septum. This muscle is skeletal muscle. Okay. Found only in mammals. Write it down. The most important term. Only in mammals and crocodile. Exception. Okay. In relaxed phase, it is dome shape. But overall अगर shape पूछ जाए तो relax ना भी लिखा हो, if it is not written there, it is dome shape. Most important point. Okay. So what is happening? What is happening in with the help of diaphragm, anterior and posterior region, thoracic volume is changing. Okay. So diaphragm, first of all, write it down, is a, if I ask what is a major function of diaphragm, the major function is inspiration. So major function is inspiration. So that is why diaphragm, write it down, most important topic, most important point is the main inspiratory muscle. Okay. Normal breathing, whatever normal breathing is related to diaphragm, always, which is called as apnea. Later on, I will taught that point also. Okay, so write it down here only. Major role in normal breathing. Okay, called as apnea. Okay, okay, these all points are important and question should be asked, can be asked. Okay, so diaphragm. Now it is in dome shape. When it is in dome shape, when it is रिलैक्स रिलैक्स है तो डोम शेप में है ठीक है so when it is in dome shape thoracic volume will decrease and if thoracic volume is decreased pulmonary volume is also decrease if volume will decrease pressure will increase so air will come out and it leads to the what expiration expiration okay so in this air will out come out okay now if it is contract if it is contract if it is contract if it is contract And what happened? And it's contract, it become flattened, and this leads to the thoracic volume increases. Okay, leads to the pulmonary volume increases, leads to the, you can say, inspiration. Air will come inside. Okay, this all process, you can write it down here, is anterior posterior change. Okay, this all process is change of anterior and posterior. Okay, so major role in normal breathing. Normal breathing, it has a major role always, which is called as abdominal breathing. Normal breathing को आप abdominal breathing भी कहते हैं. Okay, diaphragm has 75% role in it. 25% role किसका होता है? It is another muscle involved in it called as intercostal muscles. Intercostal muscles. Okay, write it down. Intercostal muscles. Intercostal muscles may be external intercostal muscle. It is two types, external, internal. Short form, ICM. So two types, external, write it down here, external, intercostal muscle, internal, intercostal muscles. Okay, so muscle always has some origin and insertion. Its origin is upper rib for external intercostal muscle and insertion is lower rib. Okay, see here, this is the ribs. Okay, so upper rib, whenever origin we have to explain, matlab in the 2D form, see like this, a dot, and upper means dot, darker dot, and it is attached to the lower rib, so you can explain it is like a hook, from lower rib it is hook. So whenever it is contract कर रहा है, so ribs will come outside. Ribs will come outside. So when it's contract, ribs will come up and sternum out. This leads to the dorsoventrally change of thoracic volume. और वॉल्यूम क्या होगा? इंक्रीज होगा ना, रिप्स अप आ गए, स्टर्नम अप आ गए, तो इट विल, so here contraction happen and through that dorsoventrally volume will increase. This leads to the pulmonary volume increases. So now you know what happened. Inspiration. Okay, air in. Okay, of course, when it's relaxed, expiration happen. So you have note down here the most important point here. Till now, inspiration process is an active process. Okay, it may be voluntary or involuntary. Okay, involuntary normal breathing, diaphragm. Normal breathing, eupnea, it is involuntary, and in forceful breathing, like use of external intercostal muscle and internal intercostal muscles, abdominal muscle and all, because of that involvement, inspiration then become voluntary. But overall, inspiration is always an active process. Then what is expiration? Expiration is always a normal, जो normal expiration की बात हो रही है, ठीक है, is a passive process and it is involuntary as well. But whenever we talk about the forceful expiration, it is active process and it is voluntary as well. This forceful expiration is related to the and performed by a internal intercostal muscles. Okay, इसका origin कहाँ पे है? Its origin is lower rib and insertion upper rib. So because of its contraction, ribs will down and sternum is in, and through that thoracic volume will decrease. ज़्यादा decrease होगा. Decrease तो external intercostal muscle के relax होने से भी है. It happened there, but in this forceful expiration, thoracic volume will decrease more, and due to that, pulmonary volume will also decrease more, and due to that, forceful expiration. ठीक है, यहाँ पे contraction हो रहा है. Okay, air out. Okay, so this is the voluntary. Voluntary, involuntary means you think under control of your cerebrum. Okay, normal breathing has no role of intercostal muscle. Okay, only in forceful expiration is this process is happen. Okay, so that's all about the process of breathing. Okay, इसमें one exception that one more topic I will complete it that also. Note it down. Extra knowledge that movement of chest is called as thoracic breathing. In that breathing, movement of chest is prominent. So in that external intercostal muscle is an internal intercostal muscle is involved. So that is a voluntary process. Okay, but abdominal respiration, this abdominal breathing here, normal breathing is diaphragm based mostly, and it is involuntary. Okay, thoracic breathing has an exception. In pregnant female, this thoracic breathing is involuntary and automatic है, involuntary, because abdominal movement is not visible there, movement of chest. This is the exception, but only in pregnant female. Normal case में भी only during the pregnancy it is happen. Otherwise, thoracic breathing or movement of chest breathing, it's voluntary. Okay, that's all. Thank you.